check, 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 check. Sully man, does whatever a Sully can. Watch him drink from a mug. Then give a fug. Hey there. How are you? Welcome back. Once again, it is time for the Comics Coffee Table. Slancha, bienvenue, welcome. Pull up a chair. Grab a cuppa, whatever you want. Grab a snack. We're taking a break. Put the day over there. Pull up a chair. Come over here. We're going to talk about comic books for a couple of minutes. We do this every day. 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern daily. Subscribe. Click on that subscribe button. We have a daily conversation about comic books. We embrace our escapism. And we are going to just chill out for a couple of minutes together. The coffee table used to be where my friends would congregate. We'd all shoot the breeze. We'd all catch up and talk about the things that we love the most. There'd always be a stack of movies, a stack of music, a stack of books, and most especially a stack of comic books. That's right. And the purpose of this show, we got a couple of purposes. Not gonna overwhelm you or anything, but I am using these two books this year. These were given to me by my parents for Christmas. Thank you very much. So this season is dedicated to my parents, my stepdad and my mom, Hoppy Poppy, and my ma. Yeah, my stepdad, Hoppy. I call him Hoppy Poppy. It's cute, huh? And so I need to rebag, reboard, and rebox my entire collection. While I'm doing this, I'm going to give myself a ballpark estimate of what my collection is worth. And it's one part, a personal curation, and another part just a sheer accumulation of floppies I've gotten over the many years I've been a fan. So, do you have a collection as well? Wouldn't you like to know how much your collection's worth if you already don't know, So, I just want to let you know that I am not a professional grader. This show is for entertainment purposes only. And we're educating ourselves and having a good time doing it and going down memory lane, looking at a lot of good comic books. And, but yeah, if you have any serious concerns and questions about the condition or value of your floppies, please go to your local comic book shop and talk to the staff there. Seriously. And they can put you in, suggest a more professional place than I could at this point. But like I said, we're doing this for fun, and we refer to these two books. We're learning how to, and also the best part of learning about the grading of comic books, I buy a lot of Bronze Age comics, and now I know what to look for now I know to be pickier about the condition they're in, and maybe even haggle a lower price as well. It's not about, it's not about just accepting what's offered. Just be like, hey, look, this got some spine crack. This got a little stapled thing, like here and there. Like this has dings. And thank you so very much. This is also, while I'm bagging, boarding, and reboxing my entire collection, I am taking the opportunity to go to my local comic book shop, not just for new releases, which I'm off to do more often now than in the past few years. I've just come back from a years-long hiatus where I didn't go to the comic book shop. But what happened in between then was the lockdown and all the bad stuff. So, we're losing our comic book shops, and we need to help keep them open. And I'm doing my part by not using my reliable online supply chain. I want to call it that instead of saying the name, but it comes with free shipping and a free TV station. and it's got an app, and I order from it a lot, and I could be getting exactly what I want, but how is that serving my local comic book shop, the brick and mortar mom and pop? So I'm buying short boxes now instead of long boxes. The older I get, the heavier those boxes get. So let's break it down into something more manageable. While I'm there, I'm getting bags. These are poly bags. I'm looking for My Lights, but I mean, they're on order. I mean, what am I going to do? Order it from, the online supply chain? I actually got a good lead to order them from a comic book shop that a YouTube friend owns. I could do that. I heard that he's selling them. I've been looking for them around here in Boston. We can't find them. So I've got poly bags, the best I can do with what I got. And I've got acid-free boards. And I should have been using boards the entire time. I can tell you that. And, but I'm doing it now, and I'm just my comics need them. And also, I'm going to sell them too as well. Bunches of them. Why not? And this is the time to take stock and evaluate and be like, you know what? I'm going to sell this run, and I'm going to ask $30 for it, and plus shipping and handling, and see what happens, and do something with this collection. It's just sitting there, but I love that. I love comic books, and if you love comic books as much as I do, you are in the right place at the right time. And let's get to the show, all right? I know I covered this last year, and I was like, this comic could be worth $500. I did. It was an issue of SpiderMan I had since 1987. Indeed. Where is it now? No, but I looked it up real quick online, but today we're using the book, and it does. Wow, this doesn't make it easy to look up 3 different Spider-Man lines. I was today's years old. I don't know why I didn't figure it out back then, but I was today's years old when I learned that Web of Spider-Man replaced Marvel Team Up. And I was alive and breathing and buying comic books at that same time. I had Web of Spider-Man #1. I just didn't put 2 and 2 together. Jeez. And you got Amazing Spider-Man, Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, and this is the issue that I saw slabbed. That I was like, are you kidding? How much? Really? Wow. But check it out. These, as I said before, I'm mostly guilty of never boarding my comics. And I've had boards in these ones since the get-go. And like I said, I hadn't been buying boards since middle school. Here, hello. Exactly. 1987. Let's look at this. We're going to crack this open. It's funny because the ASMs, the Amazing Spider-Man, are worth a lot more in the book than these, but these are in great condition. We have a ding in the corner. We have a ding. We have achieved a ding. It's a very, very slight ding. Look. This looks so much better on that spine. That is the power of having a comic board. Look at that. We usually say it's more evident on the ad side. So look at that ad side. We've seen all of these comics I have not had boards in for all these years. This magazine is about 35 years old. It's in marvelous condition, no pun. Oh, look at this one here. Love this art. This is Mike Zeck art. I love the black costume. I do. I'm guilty of that. Look at that ad page. Look at that. The Johnston Smith Company. Let's look at the indicia. We love to... Oh, look at that opening page. Just grabs your attention. Boom! What's going on? I am Craven. Jim DeMatteis is the writer. Mike Zeck's the penciler. Bob McLeod is the inker. Rick Parker is on letters. Jackson, Sharon, and Zeck on colors. And Jim Salicrup is the editor. This is during the Jim Shooter days. All right. And this is a 6-part... a mini crossover. So when you have a family of titles like Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, you can, instead of having a monthly issue, you basically have 2, 3, sometimes 4 opportunities in a month to tell different parts of the same story. And a crossover event, too, also encourages buying the other comics as well. It's important that you buy it. This is part 1. It's over on Web of Spider-Man, number 31. October 87. So that would have been, wow, I remember that would have been the summer going into high school. And October, September, this would have been, July. This would have been the summer of 87. Damn. I just, nostalgia, like, woof. Hey, we probably bought this at New England Comics in Quincy, down by the Rotary, in its original location. And it has a UPC code. Now, is this the direct? I mean, did I buy this one off a spinner rack? I mean, I have to look that up. Let's look that up real quick. And I hope you're having a great day, and I hope that you are clobbering your problems and not being clobbered by them. Difference in comic book UPC boxes. Let's see. Comic books. Wow! Okay. I just educated myself a little bit. Okay. I've always wanted to know this. I knew there was a thing. And now I know. And knowing is half the battle. All right. A UPC code versus the character block. All right. This is like deep end history stuff. I love it. All right. So, in the late 70s, Marvel began selling non-returnable comics to comic book shops at a discount. So the comic book shop, this direct market, could make a profit. And so how could you tell the difference between the direct market copy and the returnable copy? The newsstand copy. How? And so in 1980, the box was used. So between Spider-Man 201, there was a bar in the UPC sign to denote the difference between the direct store and the newsstand version. The newsstand version, you could rip the cover off and get a refund. You get credit for that, and that's how newsstand worked versus direct market. And this is really interesting. So, starting in the next issue in 202, you would know the direct market-ish copy from the Spidey box. And the newsstand version will have the UPC code. Indeed. And so I must have bought this one off a spinner rack. And then this one at a comic book store. This one I must have bought at NEC. And also I had my comic book store in town. See, I went to high school in downtown Boston. All I need to do is walk down the street 5-6 blocks. Even hop on the subway for 3 stops as well. And here I am at Downtown Crossing, and there's my first local comic book shop, the Superhero Universe 3, on the 2nd floor at the corner of Winter and Washington Streets. And I remember getting these two there. I do. Yeah, and this was during my freshman year in high school. So I just started high school. And, wow, memory lane. Loving this. Where did that go? So it's part 1, part 2. You're the old, and with the new. And let's look at this here. So I barely touched this for years. Let's look at this old board. So it's got no glossy side, and it's done its job. I mean, this thing looks, I don't know if you can see the cut. There's a tad bit of yellowing or discoloring to this. And there's no like transfer of the ad, as in there's no mysterious ghost print of the back ad on the board. Found out about that more recently. Yeah. Oh, here you are. That's the bag I was using. I had you prepped. And I hope that you are clobbering your problems and not being clobbered by them. Seriously. This rise to your challenge. But yeah, hey, we learned something today. What is the difference in the UPC segment? I've probably mentioned that a few times before, and I always wanted to have the opportunity to find out about it. And this is a wonderful opportunity. So I bought these, let's say, at the corner store, spending weekends at my Auntie JoJo's, at Patty's Pantry on the corner of Dot Ave and East Cottage Street there. There was a spinner rack up there at the corner store. And this one I must have got at, let's say it's the same one. I was thinking it was the Mighty Midget Market across from St. Peter's Church in Dorchester. But my grandparents had already moved by then. My grandparents moved right about that, shortly before that. So the other comic book store, my other comic book shop became New England Comics in Quincy, at the old one at the Rotary. Well, don't you guys look sweet? But look at this cover. Look at this Mike Zeck art. What happens in this story? Craven the Hunter has had enough of Spider-Man. He feels maybe emasculated? I don't know. Maybe that Craven's thing is like his own thing. I mean, he shouldn't have picked a fight with Spider-Man to begin with. But here you got Craven, the world's greatest hunter, humbled time after time again by the arachnid, that this animal that he can't seem to. Yeah, there's a definite yellowing on the side that was in contact with the funny book. Wow, let's look at that backside anyway. Seriously, these comics are in great condition. There's a testament. Use boards. I mean, there's just a little bit of spine cracks, just a tiny bit. I can see that now under the magnification in the light, but as compared to everything else in my long boxes, these are bloody pristine. Oh, wow. I like that. So Craven hunts Spider-Man down without any mercy or compassion or compunction, quote unquote, kills him. Craven drugs Spider-Man with a very potent, very, very, very potent, because Spider-Man's got a healing factor, a slight healing factor. It's not like Wolverine's, but you can take a beating and heal pretty quickly. And yeah, look at that. I don't know if they call that cover roll, but that was more of that's like a printing thing. Look at that. I love these. And so Craven, see, that's a rope. That's not web. You got that? This is Craven pretending to be Spider-Man. Craven will become Spider-Man, and then he will defeat Spider-Man. And then by the end of it, Spidey digs himself out of the grave. This is a very touching scene between him and Mary Jane, where he comes home and she's scared and they embrace and it fades to black. So we all know what happens, But I loved these ones. We have to. Got 2 more. And this is the famous one. Thunder Part 5. This is the one I found listed at like some huge, like what was it, $500, and it was like, because but those are slabbed, you know what I mean? But still, this one's in great condition. The corners look great. The spine looks great. The pages look great. Look at all, for all the D&D players out there. Oi. I salute thee, O D&D. Keep your gates, keep them strong. Pour, you know what I mean? Close the portcullis. Nah, it's too late. I would just be, well, I'm kind of messing. I mean, geez. I mean, I guess I see it this way. The fictional universe of Dungeons & Dragons is not a safe space to begin with. So I have all these appeals to make things safe spaces for all people when it's about, heck, where else can you be a bad guy and do grievously horrible things at no one's harm? And in this grand thought experiment of the role play game, that's like, you know, it's roll has 2 meanings. It means to roll the dice, and also you're playing a role. Do you see the cleverness, the irony in that? I love that. I've always appreciated RPGs. I'm not a game player, but I got this out of sheer solidarity with all the gamers in the world. May, you know, remain problematic. You know what I mean? Awesome. Let's look this up real quick. Pika left us some notes, so it's like sporadic. It's all throughout the book. Damn. Con. So Amazing Spider-Man. So we have ASM 293 and 294, parts 2 and 5 of Craven's story. Blah blah woof woof. At a 9.2 near mint in the book. It's $35. That's how it's listed. All right, that's the book. All right, that's $35 each. These are in great condition too. I mean, that's. Now you have to go all the way over to SP for Spectacular Spider-Man, otherwise known as Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. Where did you go? Spectacular Spider-Man. Okay, you get 131, 132. Spectacular. Thank you. The turkey's done, huh? 131, 132. These are valued, if they were 9.2 near mint, these would be $10 each. And Web of Spider-Man all the way over at W. Web of Spider-Man 31, 32. 6-part. And these would be $15 each at a 9.2, huh? That's 30. It's 50. 70. That's $120. Ain't that cool? Now, I would have to get these graded to be called in the 9s. I mean, there's some negotiation involved here. But do you think I could sell this for $100? These 6 issues? I'm not selling these. These are artifacts of my of a glory age of comic books and collecting, and a new age going into high school too. I mean, these are just. I'm so glad that I got to them and I was able to rebag, reboard, and we're putting these on the spinner rack. I mean, these I've been attacking the spinner racks and archiving some superfluous stuff, and we're getting my spinner rack first, and then we're going to start like really attacking the long boxes. And well, thank you so very much for tuning in today. I really appreciate that, and I really appreciate you for tuning in. We talk comic books, and we're talking comic books every day for the rest of the year. Tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, and we'll find out who we're talking about when we turn the page tomorrow. Please like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. We make daily content here. We talk about comic books daily, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern. Click on the notifications. Ring that bell. You will eventually learn how to tell time. It must be 3 p.m. In Boston, Massachusetts. I can tell time. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. Like I said, you can find the links to the Amazon pages in the description to these books. These are wonderful. I would highly advise it because I'm learning so much. Again, just with our daily comic book talk. I'm thrilled. Thank you so very much. Cheers. Namaste. Good luck. We will see you again tomorrow in those funny pages. Ciao. Bye-bye. Oh, thanks for coming to the Comics Coffee Table. Yes!